Judy Strawder, do you want to
Hi,
do the honors?
We had our first season Battlehawks win. Woo! Good call.
I was waiting for that. Caw.
Yeah. Great game.
We're celebrating a 31-6 win for the St. Louis Battlehawks over the Houston Roughnecks. Thank you for joining us late on this Friday night. Know you could be anywhere else in the world, but on St. Louis Sports Hub. I appreciate you being here.
Why would you want to be anywhere else but on Sports Hub with us? Right?
I got you. That is the number one Battlehawks fan, Judy Strawder. I'm Luke Slabaugh. I love St. Louis. Been doing sports for about 10 years. Happy to be here with you. Judy, takeaways from tonight.
Oh my gosh, so many. Second half definitely did not reflect the first half, undoubtedly. Wilkins, I am so impressed. The Wilkins I saw tonight is not the Wilkins I saw last season. Very, very fun tonight. Jacob Sailors, when I was saying the other day, like whose jersey I'm going to get, I think I found it tonight. Number 15, he was great last year. Explosive tonight. Just pretty incredible. I mean, they were super fun. Rodrigo Blankenship, winner. It just so many fun things about tonight.
Glad to see one of our number one fans, Taylor Thorne, commented earlier today on our show, and we interviewed Director of Communications Brian Stahl, and you were grilling him on that quarterback battle. You were grilling him. You're like, I think it's going to be Max Duggan. And Manny Wilkins puts on a clinic, absolute clinic, 17 of 22 for 189 yards. He was a threat on the ground. Judy, this run game inspired.
Beyond inspired. I couldn't have been more impressed. I couldn't have been more blown away. I also couldn't be more happy to say I was wrong. But yeah, I mean, but for fun, they put in Max, and then we get a touchdown. I mean, I also just kind of want to throw that out there too.
Heisman finalist from a few seasons ago gets that 15-yard run and sets up that final touchdown at the goal line. Also gets his 1-point conversion sneaking in there. So Max Duggan does account for 1 point in tonight's 31-6 win over the Houston Roughnecks. When I think of tonight, everything that Coach Beck had detailed pregame about being physical, about dominating the time of possession, about being such a violent team, this Battlehawks team on both lines of scrimmage was clean. They were tight. They were orderly. They were all business. This was a very refined game. Skill position players, extraordinary. You mentioned Jacob Sailors. What a debut for offensive coordinator Phil McGeegan. The ground game, just super inspired. The O-line with only one newcomer, Abdul Beecham at right guard. There were so many good plays tonight that really made you confident about this team moving forward and about how well they can manage a game with Manny Wilkins under center and some of the skill players that they got there.
I couldn't, again, be more thrilled with how tonight went because, I mean, we made a statement. One thing I heard the announcers say throughout the entire game is, like, they kept talking about the Stallions and all their, spring championships, yada, yada, yada. That's going to change this year. And even they said, well, now we have a team that's here that's ready to, compete with this team. Tonight was so fun. I couldn't have been more happy with the way it went.
BX saying thanks for spreading the word about UFL football. St. Louis is a football town, and Missouri churns out some great football talent and diehard, passionate football fans. I mean, St. Louis is an everything town when it comes to sports, and I'm sure the fans tuning in tonight would love to see more UFL football coverage. So happy to be here. Couldn't do it without Joe Roderick and David Green over at Sports Hub STL. Those guys are the best. And something that you mentioned about the broadcast team. I love hearing Kurt Menefee call the game on Fox, but Joel Klatt, usually the voice of college football, great color commentator, former player, great analyst. But to hear the words, "It's been all St. Louis," come out of his mouth at the half. I mean, they had 265 yards, 48 on Houston's side at the half.
Yeah.
In first downs. They had 2 takeaways, 2 picks in that first half. The defense is a whole other story. Final with 9 points off those 2 turnovers, but they had possessed the ball for over 21 minutes at the half.
Yes.
They put them away, and you couldn't ask for anything better from the team on either side of the ball.
I mean, well, and that's just true. Like, because like as I was taking, mental notes throughout the game of everything that we did, it just kept racking up. Like there wasn't just one thing I could focus on. My takeaway was just so many of everything. It was insane to me how we dominated that game, and we dominated so much in the first half that even though we fell flat in the second half, that our first half numbers were just so incredible that it just, yeah. And I love that Rodrigo came out and 48, his very first appearance, as a Battlehawk. Boom, done. 48-yard field goal.
Former special team star at the University of Georgia and played in the NFL prior to this, and he may be well on his way back to the league. But that's what this whole league is about, right? The second chances and developing the players that finally get that big break. So Rodrigo was my player to watch today. And of course, he didn't factor in, to the overall. They would have won this game regardless, but special teams having that buttoned up and having that leg available for a league that has been knocked in the past about quarterback play and about offense, to finish with 460 in total yardage, 7.2 yards per play, and scoring 3 out of 4 times in the red zone. This team was as professional and as buttoned up as you could have asked for. Now, it didn't quite start that way. We saw a little bit of draw, a little bit of misdirection, some really good quarterback play. But on that first drive, Manny Wilkins appeared to have converted a 3rd and 13. And then with that new football technology, they were able to see that he was just a hair short. And so they get that 4th down play, which historically St. Louis has been very good at. They were 12 of 18 last year on 4th down. But then the defense picks them up. Do you see that Q Cole interception, the free safety out of Louisville? Walk us through that, Judy.
Oh my gosh. That was the fact that we even had 2, interceptions in the first half. I mean, just so fun. First off, that new technology is pretty impressive. And it's crazy that, and how quick it is too, because a lot of times when you're measuring that stuff, old school time, that can take several minutes, and that kind of stuff interrupts the rhythm of the game. And like, it was just like, boom, just like that, 0.2 yards short. Okay. And so, I have to admit though, even on that play, I was not thrilled that we didn't do the tush push. Like we should have just gotten it to begin with, but to turn around and get that interception and this whole game, just nothing but excitement.
Seen a lot of cacaws in the chat. Thank you, Flute Players 1978, for checking in with the Battlehawks logo. A reminder that this post-game show is brought to you by Hot Shots. It's a big sponsor for us at Sports Hub STL, home of STL Sports and sports fans since 1990. Synonymous with St. Louis sports. Whenever you drive on the highway and see a Hot Shots, brings a little bit of nostalgia and a little bit of appreciation for our hometown of St. Louis. A great win, and attendance is really concerning. Well, at Houston, at the University of Houston Stadium. And in terms of game day, this is a really good point that we're seeing in the chat. We're averaging 34,000 at the Dome. And then you've got other teams, especially Houston, NFL market, big stadium. But these UFL support staffs and communications teams. Brian Stahl mentioned this on the show earlier today. You're working with a team of about 9 people. Like, that's Springfield Cardinals level, like, support staff to get this professional operation up and running. Now, I had some friends at the game tonight down in Houston, and I'm excited to get their takeaway. I have not been to TDECU Stadium yet, but 'twas the night for football. I mean, it was perfect weather down there. It had just rained, and also perfect weather for the Battlehawks to kick some butt. Yeah, Judy?
Right. Yeah. Now I did read that it was the Astros home opener. And that's one thing I was that we didn't touch on when we talked the other day was that it was so smart the way that we scheduled us to play tonight because yesterday was the Cardinals home opener. Tomorrow we've got the Blues on ice. So we scheduled smart. Just didn't look like it worked out the same way. Down there, and I think that messed with their attendance numbers a little bit.
It's been a minute since I've checked in. I used to work at what is now FanDuel Sports Network Midwest, used to be Bally and Fox Sports prior, and I worked the last Blues win for the digital staff before they made some changes. But I believe they're on an 8-game win streak right now. Our
Yes,
St. Louis Blues.
oh my gosh, the Blues are a whole nother phenomenon right now. Like, it's kind of
Well,
one of those things. I'm so superstitious that I can't even talk about it, but it's pretty incredible.
Schoolboy Row, or should I say Schoolboy Row, in
I
the
heard
chat.
that.
Row, are we this good? I believe yes. And I
Yes.
believe that the Battlehawks, because it's just so much returning experience that we mentioned the O-line, just one
One.
change. I think is one change of the past 15 games or something. And this
Yes.
team has always been good at the line of scrimmage back-to-back 7-3 seasons. This was extraordinary. We're going to get into some ad copy first and foremost, because we mentioned that this is brought to you by Hot Shots, but we also have one of our main sponsors here on the Battlehawks channel, and it is brought to you by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Sports Hub STL excited to announce that this weekly Battlehawks show is going to be brought to you by Lee's Famous Chicken Recipe. You get their famous Battlehawks box. Try saying that 5 times fast. Battlehawks box. Whew, man.
Well,
You
Luke,
can
I
score up
mean, you did make it sound finger licking good.
I don't think that's their slogan, Judy, but you can score up to 30% off Battlehawks tickets when you get this box, the Recipe Chicken Battlehawks box. Up to 30% off Battlehawks tickets, plus get 4 of their famous breast strips and a side of potato wedges for just $8.99, only at Lee's, famous for chicken. We will get better at that ad copy as the season goes along, and we celebrate more wins. Plenty more to come. Another interesting addition to this year's Battlehawks team, the second interception today in the second quarter, free safety Lucas Dennis. You might remember him from 2 years ago as a St. Louis Battlehawk. He was with the Falcons last season on their practice squad. Another great play, Judy.
Yes. Oh, the smart plays were just so much smart football happened tonight, and that's what was really exciting because, like, when Sully was talking the other day about putting such a buttoned up team on the field, that was no joke because that's kind of been some of people's apprehensiveness with this is that, well, like, it's not exactly NFL football, but no, I mean, tonight we showed that we had it together. It was very smart plays put together on the field tonight. I was really impressed with our defense tonight, even though they really didn't get a lot of credit in a lot of ways, but the interceptions alone, they just were really smart plays.
There were a couple of sacks there at garbage time as we were preparing the stream and getting ready. Pita Taumapenu. I'm going to have to get with Phil on that
Hang
one.
on.
But they were telling his story just as the final seconds were ticking down, and
I
he was
love that guy.
running down their quarterback, a great linebacker. I feel like I overlooked something. This getup that you've got going on. How are you and the community celebrating these road games when you're just sitting in front of the TV?
So I mix it up. Tonight, I told everybody the other day I have teenagers, and the teenagers were actually all super in on watching our kickoff game tonight. So we have a whole house of teenagers here tonight watching the game, getting excited. So whenever I'm all in on something, I'm all in. But Murphy's on 21. They are a great place for a watch party here in St. Louis. So if you guys are looking for a place to go to watch, Murphy's on 21 is a great place. A number of my folks from the tailgating group are there tonight. But yeah, it's just, get excited. All it took was 3 minutes, and you couldn't have been more excited that the football season was already underway.
A lot of methodical drives there as well. There was that fourth quarter run by Jarvie and Howard. It was 74 yards. They had just put Duggan in
Right.
after he had converted that first down. What'd you see on that play?
It was just it was fun to say, okay, I think that had the game gone a little bit differently, that Wilkins wouldn't have played as much into the second half as he did, but everything was clicking and firing on all cylinders. That why would you break that up? Why would you mess that chemistry up? So it made sense why he stayed in so long. But I think that at a point we had such a comfortable lead that it was okay. Well, let's see what Max can do. Let's put him in, and it's still kind of also interesting to me though that it wasn't even a snap. Like he passes it and then boom, touchdown. But I think that really just the smart plays that we're already one step ahead before the other team even knows what hit them.
Jeff brings up a really good point here that, first game, you can't count on a perfect O-line, and we did see a few holding calls there. But to have Wilkins out of the pocket so much and be mobile,
Yes.
yeah, I think that this went according to plan, and what growth that we've seen out of him from a season ago where his playing time was limited. And now they didn't need AJ McCarron. They didn't need a redux of that. They did not need a pocket passer. They needed someone that can blend in and run this offense the way that they wanted to.
I'm going to be honest. Remember, I told you number 10, and I am wearing that jersey still. Number 10 is my dude. Tonight was a different feel. Totally different feel. Very exciting. It it was exciting. For again, as much as I miss McCarron, tonight really showed me the future. We're rearview mirrors in the back. We're not looking back. It's nothing but forward from here. I'm really excited to see what we do from here.
I think every St. Louis football fan has that attachment to the quarterback, no matter how long they've been here. Because back before COVID, Jordan Ta'amu had gotten, them to a winning record before the season shut down. Taylor Heineke as well. Like the Battlehawks logo and brand means something locally. Like those names are going to be remembered in the same way that those Rams quarterbacks that came after Kurt Warner were remembered, like the Mark Bulgers and players of
Dan
that nature.
Bradford.
Sammy Bradford, who, man.
Yeah.
Looking back at that
That's
old
all we
tape,
got. We just got to,
it feels like ancient history. And next weekend, next Sunday, it's going to feel like ancient history because you're going to have new turf, AstroTurf.
New lighting.
And then all new LED lighting, pregame shows that Brian Stull had mentioned. And you're going to welcome in Kellen Mond and the San Antonio Brahmas for a revenge game, no doubt. Yeah. We need 35,000 plus. And by we, I mean they, the Battlehawks. But this is the time, off of this major win, to show that type of passion and showing that spring football is alive and well in St. Louis. You could not have teed up this weekend any better.
Agreed. Totally agreed. You couldn't have said it better.
One thing I did notice on the broadcast, second quarter, they had Danny Garcia, who helps run the league with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the booth. Did you catch any of that? Because she brought up a word that you had tossed around in this past episode, this weekly episode, the E word, expansion.
Whew. She did. She did say it.
And she had, with all the news going around about the league, but this, now this is 4 years now that there's been some form of minor league spring football, developmental football leagues going on. They believe that they're positioned right now to keep this thing rolling.
Yeah.
And again, like, it hinges on St. Louis and San Antonio and Birmingham and those types of markets to make this league and this model thrive. As we have seen tonight, the talent is there on the coaching side and on the players side. They've got the talent. And now the next phase, I think, and correct me if you think that I'm a little bit astray here, I think it's more community. I think it's more relying on, yes, you've saved money by hubbing these players in Arlington. Now I think the next step is trying to reach out and see if you can make it work in a market like a Tulsa or a Knoxville, if it ever gets to that point. Maybe I'm being over ambitious and,
Not
reaching a
at
little
all.
bit too much and a little over optimistic, but it's hard not to see with rose colored glasses when you've got a win like this in the tank.
Uh, I mean, how you put it out there was absolutely perfect, and I love the optimism because that's exactly what it is. And I do think that yes, we're getting to a point to where it's time to get our feet wet in other markets, and I think that the other thing that they need to do, and tonight was a proven point of it, that we got to be cognizant of the other sports that are happening in the cities and make sure that we're scheduling accordingly. I think that it's really smart that we've put Friday night into the mix to, get one more night on, as, available, another night of sports in spring. But, also too, like just making sure that we're not, having too many scheduling conflicts because we're still in these early stages, and we need all the fan support that we can get. But I mean, I absolutely love your rose colored glasses vision of where we're going.
I'll tell you what, it's past my bedtime. And I think if you're head coach Anthony Becht, I mean, he was up as early as 7 a.m. at the stadium on Fox Nation with Coach CJ Johnson of the Roughnecks doing live interviews on national TV promoting this game for Fox. Final thoughts as we wrap this up, anything that you would change, anything that is on your mind as we wrap up this 31-6 win over the Houston Roughnecks?
Final thoughts are just wow. I couldn't be more excited about how we look and what we came to show as our, first out there. That if this is the stage that we're setting, go ahead, Birmingham. Try your best.
One last thing, as this is a St. Louis community show, and I want to show my love and appreciation for the city. One of my best buddies was at the game tonight, St. Louis native Brendan Phillips. It is his birthday today. Happy birthday, Brendan. 31,
Happy
I believe.
birthday.
My St. Louis Priory classmate. He gets married a month from Monday, I want to say, down in
Aww.
Houston. Very happy that he was at the game tonight. Big Battlehawks fan. Also saw his Tennessee Volunteers win tonight in the Sweet 16. So love you,
Good
Brendan.
for
Thanks
him.
for watching. I know you are. And thanks to everyone who tuned into this. Sports Hub STL is growing. So much great Cardinals coverage over the past couple of days and weeks. Blues, of course, riding a great win streak right now. And is this the year for the St. Louis Battlehawks? Judy and I are going to be with you every step of the way. Could not do this without Joe Roderick and Dave Green as well at Sports Hub STL. A great crew, great people. I want to say thank you, everyone, for watching. Good night. And Judy, you want to give me one last caw?
Caw.